From the News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Barris here on a Tuesday. This is one of my favorite shows of the year because there's lots of visuals, shall we say eye candy this morning for you to enjoy with relation to the Christmas holiday and all of the fantastic lights that are out there. We have a competition every year, and we do a great job of showing some of the most spectacular homes in the mid-state region, and then there's obviously one champion at the end of it, and we're going to show you a lot of that this morning. We're going to talk to the photographer who puts these together and goes out and visits, and we also have this year's winner as well. So we can maybe squeeze a call in here along the way, but mainly we've got pieces to show you some of the different competitors that they're all fantastic. I don't know how they choose a winner. So let's get to it right away with our guest this morning. Yes, to know him is to love him, and I've loved him for a long time. That would be my colleague here at the station, one of the finest photographers you will meet anywhere in the world, one Charles Woodward.
In the world.
So true. Charlie, and he's festive in his red turtleneck. It is good to have you on. I love you.
Yeah. Nick.
All right. Now, I don't know I can say the same because I've just met Chris, but Chris Lawson's with us this morning. Sorry you're wedged between the two of us, but hey, Chris, good to have you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Your home was the winner this year, and I think we're going to show a little clip of that in a moment, but Charlie, again, remind folks what it is, and how many years have we done this, the holiday lights?
Can
you remember?
Well, I'm not sure how many years the station's done it, but I've done it now for 21 years.
Holy cow, 21 years. And can you talk a little bit about how the entries get made and how we get to the finalists like this?
Homes can be entered by neighbors. You have to be an NES customer inside Nashville, Davidson County, or you can enter your own home.
Okay.
And but neighbors have entered friends' homes or encouraged their neighbors to enter their home, and then once they're on the list of those homes, then volunteer judges drive around in cars just like you or I would, and they drive by the homes and they judge. And so you win at a neighborhood level, you win at a district level, then you win at a region level. And the 5 regions, there's 5 regions in Nashville, and those 5 overall finalists, one of those homes becomes the overall winner, and that would be Mr. Lawson's home.
That's fantastic. So that's through just Davidson County, correct?
Yes, yeah. And that's a point some people, like they'll say, hey, I saw this great home in Lebanon, or I saw this great home in Portland. There's homes everywhere, but this contest, it's the Ann Chapman Holiday Lights contest. And Ann was with beautification for years and years, and she started the contest just driving around, noticed that there were a lot of homes that were decked out for Christmas, and thought it'd be a great idea to have a citywide contest. And unfortunately, we lost Ann a few years ago, but they named the contest in her honor. And so that's the generation of the contest.
What was her name?
Ann Chapman.
Chapman, that's right. I think I remember. I think she must have come on one of the earlier shows, perhaps. And what a great idea. And at least being in Davidson County, it's a heavy metropolitan area, and there's some spectacular homes out there. And now how many years have you entered?
I think this is the 4th year.
Fourth year. Now, had you been doing lights prior to that and you finally came around to it, or did you just decide to jump in?
Yeah, I saw it on News Channel 5, the competition every year, and I just didn't think my house was good enough. So I waited and kept buying lights, adding more lights, and then when I decided let's jump in, let's try, because the bonus when you compete, they give the whole list out on their website, so everybody can just look on there and come see your house.
Right.
And so you put all this work into your house, and it's just easy for everybody to come see it when you.
Yeah, you want to show it off, and that's what's so great. I mean, that it'll be on our website. People can go to these. We're going to give you a sneak preview, but it's fun to go out and drive and hit them all, and it's entertainment. You do such a great job with that.
And one thing I do want to tell you is that, and I want to tell everybody watching, is that all of the finalists have told me that they're going to have their lights on through New Year's.
Okay.
So a lot of times families have some family time or some vacation time between Christmas and New Year's, so they're all going to be on. They're all going to be lit up all the way through New Year's this year.
And Mary Elena, do we have a sneak peek at Chris's home? I think we have some VO before we get to one of the finalists, but she'll get that up just to kind of show a little bit of this. I remember a couple years ago, I went out to go, Charlie, as you said, and there it is, spectacular. spectacular, some of this. This is a sneak peek. We're going to have a longer look at it. I just remember going out one night, and it was on a Christmas Eve, I think, when it was pouring rain. I just hope the weather holds up, and it looks like it will. Is rain an issue with the lights? Really?
It used to be. Now I've waterproofed a lot of things, and it used to pop breakers. Now it doesn't.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's the other thing, Charlie. In your 21 years doing this, the advances in the lights and the technology. You've seen it all. What was it like 21 years? What did they have? Those old bulbs that would heat up and use a lot of electricity.
Right. LEDs changed the game.
Yeah, sure. Now it's computerized. A lot of it.
People's bills have dropped because of that.
So you can afford to do it now.
Well, it's more affordable.
Yeah.
And of course, the key to this is that you don't start at Chris's level. Usually and I always ask that question. I say, hey, did this whole thing start with a string of lights? And you'd be surprised how many times one of these finalists will say, well, the first thing I ever had was that right there, and then it just kind of, I added a little here and a little there. But in their case, a lot of times, I added a whole lot here and a whole lot there, and that's how they get these kind of displays.
It almost becomes a year-round hobby, looking and thinking. I'm wondering, do you decorate your home for any other holidays of the year? I don't know, Halloween some people do, or 4th of July.
Yeah, we do some stuff for Halloween. I have 2 small kids now, and so now I want to decorate more for Halloween and other holidays and 4th of July.
But Christmas is the biggie.
Yeah,
and is it safe to say, in the middle of July, you may have an epiphany and say, wow, I want to try that this next year? I mean, seriously, you're thinking about it year-round?
That's exactly what happened this year.
Oh, really?
Exactly what happened.
Is there a theme that for all the homes every year, or each home can choose a theme? Isn't that how it works? If they have a theme.
It's up to the homeowner.
Okay.
But there are a few things that the judges do look at, including recycling, how to save energy, how to be green in terms of their display. So there are factors other than just the look of the house that goes into the judging.
I think that's great. Well, why don't we look at the first family? All right, so you'll see one of these, and you're going to look at it and go, wow, that one's terrific. Now, this one is Satterfield family. She'll cue it up, and as we do, why don't you give us just a little synopsis on this, Charlie? It's the first one. I know you've seen so many.
Yeah. This is David Satterfield's home.
Okay. Whereabouts? Do we know where it is?
He's in Antioch.
Okay.
And the thing about David's home is that he has got, around the top of the eave, he's got these wreaths and garland made of lights. And when I talked to him, he thought he had maybe 8,000 to 10,000 lights, but then when we kind of broke it down to like one section of garland, and he had several thousand just in that, once he started adding up, he realized that he might have a few more lights than what he thought.
Sure. Well, Charlie goes out and shoots all this, and he does a fantastic job. Let's take a look at one of the finalists in this year's Holiday Lights competition.
Well, it got started about 30 years ago. It started with putting lights on a couple of bushes in front of the porch. Then it went out to the side, and then it got onto the house. The biggest part is getting it out of storage and opening it up and see what's working and what's not working. Each section of those, the garland that's on the edge of the roof, I think there's probably 300 lights in each one of those, and there's 7 of the garlands. So that's 2,000 lights. It gets up pretty fast, doesn't it? It's a little different every year. There's a lot of traffic that comes through here. It's a cut through. You come down the hill on Forest View and you turn around the corner and it just pops up.
When I come down the road from up the hill, I just see it and I'm like, ah!
Probably the oldest thing is the snowflake that changes colors.
I really like the snowflake up top of the house because it just draws my eye to it and it brings me to the Christmas spirit. I was amazed because nobody else around here does it a lot. And then you see this house and it's beautiful.
And I really like the way it looks from the street. The garland still has the miniature lights in it. If one goes out, the whole string of the section of that garland will go out.
I really like how all the lights are different.
With rain, I make sure that all of the sockets have black electrical tape over it.
Me and my mom, we were thinking we should do our house like that.
I get a lot of cards that's just left in the mailbox, notes pinned to the door, thanking me for the holiday decorations.
It totally makes Christmas. It makes everything about Christmas more beautiful.
I even have people when I'm in the yard in the summertime will stop and say how much they enjoy the lights at Christmas and ask, are you going to do it again? And I will ask them, well, do you want to come and help me? But they don't volunteer to do that.
Yeah, they don't.
They
don't help. They don't ask.
Yeah.
They don't volunteer. He's got somebody. He's got a good friend of his that helps him decorate, and then he turns around and decorates his friend's home.
Oh, nice.
But you know, the two of them, those two guys together decorate that house and I guess the other house.
You know, I love it when you interview the children too, and this must hit home for you. You've been doing this now to this scale for 4 years, and it's like you do this once. And then these kids and the families come to expect it. Not that you have to do it, but you don't want to disappoint them, right? It's a snowball effect, and every year you want to do it again and hopefully bigger, right?
That's right. That's right. And when they come and talk to you like that, you know, it just makes your day.
Do you like that? I mean, now with you and there, Charlie, sometimes you'll say that not only are the cars pulling up, but sometimes people get out, if it's okay, and walk around not touching, but do they walk around your property?
Yeah, I had a few this year take pictures in like in front of the house.
And you don't mind that, right?
No,
I mean,
I don't mind it.
Yeah, as long as they don't mess with it. But sometimes they'll walk around, right?
Well, the big thing is that sometimes if you walk around, there are. And this should be obvious to everybody, but there's a ton of extension cords and ties.
That's where you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, especially little ones, you know, they're not looking at that, and they may pull something completely over without, you know, there's not any intent, but there's miles of extension cords on some of these homes.
So yeah, you set it up, and some homes may be allowed, others maybe make it clear you probably shouldn't because of those extension cords. But that was really a nice house.
It was.
That was beautiful. All right, listen, we'll take a break on that note. When we come back in the next segment, we've got 2 more that we're going to show, and then 1 more in the third, and then at the end, the big boy. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more Holiday Lights. This is fun right after this.